who have been listening um, via the Timcade radio stream, y'all just heard some Tommy Tallarico. For those who are tuning in via YouTube, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you have to hit a big go live button. That's my fault. Oops. Hi, YouTube. That is absolutely my fault. However, it is a dang pleasure that you are here. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to the show. Once again, if you wish to chime in on any of the news that we're going to talk about, please drop a call or a text over at 941-677-2366. Over on Twitter, use hashtag Midnight Pixel Show. We were using hashtag MPS, but apparently that covers the British MPs. So I went with Midnight Pixel Show. It's a little longer, but I think it'll do the trick. If you have any thoughts, questions, discussion points, feel free to bring them up there. Over on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, just search for Timcade. It's got my ugly mug on it with my purple dang hair. And you can go to our Discord, the Timcade Discord, discord.gg/the arcade, hashtag gaming-chat. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get a start on. Let's talk about Twitch and Facebook gaming a little bit. This should be a hot one, so share your thoughts, share your concerns. Give me all the things that hit your brain. So Twitch is doing compulsory midstream ads. You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. And those in between. Twitch is now putting mid-roll ads when people are watching a stream. What? So according to Twitch support, they said, starting today, we'll be testing automated mid-roll ads for some viewers. These ads will directly support the creator and won't run if the viewer has an ad break in that channel recently. Your feedback is welcome to help shape this feature. And so far, all the feedback I've seen is, F that! People are not pleased with this, and with good reason, because it's very easy to miss an important moment when you're in the middle of an intense game and then all of a sudden you get Doritos ads or a Red Bull gives you wings ad or something along those lines, or pizza rolls or something. Oh boy. You know what? To that, I drink some of this delicious adult beverage. This is the Guayabera Citra Pale Ale from Cigar City Brewing. If you're of age, crack a beer, have a glass of wine, drink something delicious and adult. If you don't drink or you're underage, pop a Coke, grab a nice hot tea, do what you gotta do. Settle in. We're gonna go till around midnight Eastern time. We're gonna listen to some music and hang out and have fun. But sadly, Twitch is rolling mid-roll ads. I'm kind of upset with this, just because it's annoying. It's not reasonable. It's kind of, I don't know. It's there. It feels like it's there to make people angry, because, I mean, that screws up streams. That screws up viewers. Some viewers will drop when ads are played. You're encouraging people to use ad block at this point in time. That's all I have to say about that. What are your thoughts? If you have thoughts on this, please let me know. Text me, call and leave a message. Hashtag Midnight Pixel Show on Twitter. But let's not go there where it's a misunderstood folly, because they've stumbled twice. So Twitch has this feature, for those who may not know, where you can purchase little overlays, like little cute overlays, like a hand waving hello or shades or something like that, that goes on the emotes on Twitch. So Twitch, I'm sorry, it's so stupid. What bonehead missed this? But they released some of those overlays to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. And to do that, they had a sombrero, maracas, and a Spanish mariachi guitar. It's so tone deaf. It's amazing how tone deaf Twitch is. So this all comes at the same time that, you know, the DMCA crisis has been going on Twitch, where you get 3 strikes and you're banned if you play copywritten music on their platform. part of the reason why this is not on Twitch, because I would much rather ads be run against my content that monetizes directly to the creators than just getting a strike and then getting banned. So I'm kind of pleased with the way that YouTube does it, even though I get so many copyright notices and stuff, but I don't really care that much, especially with my channel being the size it is and whatnot. But here's the rub. So Facebook has gone out and gotten a license. It's more or less a SCAP license. If you've never heard of that, a SCAP license is pretty much what radio DJs use to play music without any repercussions legally or monetarily, because they pay for a license monthly or yearly or however it works. Generally pretty expensive, in the hundreds of dollars for, I think, a year to utilize. So it's a little out of reach for most streamers. So Facebook took the BDE route and secured a license, a SCAP type license, for every creator on the platform. So they can play almost any type of music on their streams without getting dinged by the RIAA. Which is super cool for the creators over there, but I mean, it's still Facebook. However, I have a very harsh opinion of Facebook. I don't like the platform. I don't like the company. I find the company to be scummy. I've seen what they've done with Oculus. I've seen what they've done with our data, and I've seen what they've done with our elections and politics in the US in general. And I'm pretty over it. But what are your thoughts? I'm curious to know what you think when it comes to Facebook and Facebook gaming. Is their platform harmless? I mean, it requires you to have an actual Facebook account to use. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? I'm curious to know. 941-677-2366. You can call in, leave a message, or send a text. Would love to hear from you, hear your thoughts. You can also hit me at hashtag Midnight Pixel Show on Twitter. That would be neato too. But either way it works. That said, feel free to share your thoughts. Tell me how you feel. Does it give you good vibes and good mojo? Do you not care what they do with your data because of the Googles of the world? I'm kind of curious, because a lot of data privacy concerns seem to kind of have gone by the wayside lately. I mean, I've always been very flippant about it because I've used Google my entire adult life. So all of my information has been on their servers for a very long time, and I've used Amazon for a very long time, and they know stuff about me that I don't know about me, apparently. So what are your thoughts? I'm done with Facebook. I cut that cord a while ago and got done with it. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I was seeing too many of my high school friends and family members not being the people that I was hoping that they would be. So I kind of stepped away from that whole scene, if that makes sense. So share your thoughts. Hit me up. Tell me what you feel about Twitch's missteps and Facebook's, I guess, not misstep. I think we should have I think we could celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month in a little bit less of a tone-deaf way. All right. So after this song break, we got some news from Star Citizen. That drawn-out mess. So we will be back when we listen to a song that I happen to like a lot. This is Electric de Chocobo by Nobumatsu from Final Fantasy VII. Then we got something a little special after that as well, which I kind of like, and I hope you'll enjoy it too. So I'll see you in a few minutes. So that was Sabaku from the Half Minute Hero soundtrack. Really like that song. Super, super enjoyable. Welcome back. I hope you are having a lovely, lovely Wednesday. I hope you're finding yourself a little relaxed, maybe enjoying yourself, having a good day. I hope that's the case. Thank you for hanging out. Special shout out to Sean for being the first ever comment in our live chat on YouTube. Thanks. So if you want to chime in, you can also chime in via the YouTube. If you search for Tim Cade and find my doofy purple hair, you can go there and the live stream should be listed. You can join in the chat, or you can always call or text at 941-677-2366 or hashtag Midnight Pixel Show over on Twitter. Also drop a line over on the Discord. I'll check that from time to time, periodically. But with that said, why don't we talk a little bit more news? So let's talk about Star Citizen. You guys know this game, right? Hopefully you do. So this game, this is a game. Yeah, it's Star Citizen. So pretty much it was a crowd-funded space sim a la oh boy, what is I'm drawing a blank. What is the game? Oh geez. One of those nights. It's been a week. Been a couple of weeks. So I'm gonna find the name of that. It's not Starbound. No? I don't remember. Bummer. Well, it is a similar game. It's a space exploration game, a la No Man's Sky, that sort of stuff. So this game was crowdfunded. Good lord, I just totally tangented and lost my spot. But it was crowdfunded to the tune of, let's see what they're at, $313 million US for development of this game. So Chris Roberts, the creator of Star Citizen, made a lengthy blog post of this game, which was announced in 2012 and has been in development on and off for 8 years and still does not have a final released product. It's all still in alphas and tests and whatnot. Boy. Which is frustrating in its own right, but it is what it is. But he made a very long blog post to address concerns about the game's development status and why it's taking so long. This isn't the first time he's done this. Probably won't be the last. But he wrote, "This is the game I've dreamed of my whole life. Now I'm in a position to realize it, and I'm not willing to compromise its potential because it's taking longer than I originally envisioned. What I will commit to, and what is an internal priority, is to improve the current gameplay and quality of life as we go, as Star Citizen is already fun in many ways, even if more buggy and not as stable as I would like." 8 years, y'all. 8 years, keep that in mind. And just finishing off and polishing the basics will make it play as well or better than most other games. Let me reiterate one more time. Polishing the basics 8 years in. Okay? So forgive me for being a little outraged at this, but unacceptable? I mean, they have an almost unlimited budget. Absolutely unacceptable. I am still not unconvinced that this is some sort of a scheme to steal all the monies. But I don't know. This thing has been in development hell for a long time, and the reason being is because of the excess of changing gears, changing directions, making tweaks to things, adding on new features, scaling up the grandiosity, I guess, of the game, adding, you know, a first-person mode, a exploration mode, a PvP multiplayer, full acting with capture, mocap, all that stuff. Like, there's apparently a behind the scenes with Andy Serkis, of all people. So one of the things that he says I had to collect myself. I apologize. But he said, my biggest disappointment with modern internet discourse is that there's a significant amount of cynicism, especially in forum or Reddit debates, and a portion of people assume the worst. If a feature is missing, late, or buggy, it's because the company or the developer lied and or is incompetent, as opposed to the fact that it just took longer and had more problems than the team thought it would when they originally set out to build it. Okay. I'm actually getting upset at Roberts because the dude has $300 million to throw at this thing and 8 years to work on it, and the basics are still not polished. Are you seeing where I'm going with this? The frustration, simply put, is that they have literally had more time to work on this and a bigger budget than some of the big AAA titles. I am sorry. Hold tight. Stop. I don't know what it's doing. It decided to start playing music on its own. I apologize for that, y'all. That was confusing. I'm trying to figure out how to juggle everything with the live stream and the audio feed, so I apologize if I make some missteps tonight. I'm trying my best. How long did Horizon Zero Dawn take to make? Okay, so 8 years, and they don't even have the basics polished. Horizon Zero Dawn took 7. Let's see how much it costs. Let's see. The game had an estimated budget of over 45 million euros. 45 million euros to USD. Let's see what that translates. $52 million. Do y'all see where I'm going with this now? Y'all understanding? So let's say 53, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, $53 million, okay? So let's take their 313 and divide that by 53. You could have funded almost 6 Horizon Zero Dawns for the cost of this game that is still not polished. Y'all understand where I'm going now? You get it? You with me? Please. Please. It's got to look fishy from someone else's perspective. Let me know what you think. Is this fishy AF? Is it something that's worthwhile? Is it something that people should buy into? Is it just too much? What do you think? It's so crazy to me because it feels like a giant Ponzi scheme. Buy into this thing and you'll end up with a return beyond all you could ever have dreamed of in the term of gaming. Nani? I just don't know. I don't know. Well, anyways, I don't know. I find it highly sus. It's super sus, and I don't know, it just drives me nuts that they're still doing this. They're still doing the thing. Oh boy. I don't know, man. I don't know how they get away with it. I need to figure out a way to get $313 million that I can kind of piss away on nothing. Have very little to show for it in 8 years. 8 years, y'all. How long did God of War take to make? Let's see. How long did God of War 2018 take to make? No, it did not take 35 hours. That's completion to beat the game. Let's see. So it costs So God of War in the first month only made $131 million. I don't know. Why do people like this? Why are people okay with this? It's horrifying. It just smells like a scam. Does that make sense? Am I being too harsh? I might be being too harsh, but good lord, man. Not a problem. It's okay. No biggie. It's frustrating to me to see something like this and to know people who have bought into this and are like, Star Citizen's gonna be the greatest thing ever. Oh my god. And I'm just kind of, I don't know about that. I just don't know. I don't believe it. I don't think there's enough there to consider it even remotely close to the greatest game of all time. It's gonna be one of the most expensive though, that's for sure. Lordy. All right. Well, we have a lot to talk about in terms of the PS5. I'm going to circle around to that here in just a few minutes. But before we do that, I'm going to listen to some lovely music. We're going to listen to some Jesse Harlan. This is the ghost ship from Star Wars Republic Commando on the Xbox, the lovely, lovely 2005 title. Enjoy. Helps if I unmute myself over on YouTube. Hi, YouTube. I'm just falling apart, y'all. Anyways, that was that last song was Snowy Blankets by Grant Kirkhope from Viva Pinata. Great composer. Good stuff. Hey, thank you all for being here and hanging out with me today. I hope you're having a lovely Wednesday. I'm trying to find that sweet spot day. I ran a poll on my Twitter. Most of it came back as Friday, but I figured this week I'd give it a try on Wednesday and see how things go. And we'll see. We'll run another poll this week and see if people prefer it on Wednesday after they've heard a Wednesday show or how they want that to work. But that said, if you wish to chime in and share your thoughts, you can always call 941-677-2366. That's 941-677-2366. Call or text. You can leave a voicemail and I might air it. You can also talk in the YouTube chat. YouTube. Search for Tim Cade. We are live there right now. At least as of the moment that this is running live. I've been collecting. I've been rebuilding my collection of movies from ripping my DVDs and whatnot. And I got most of the James Bond films ripped. I got most of my Blu-rays for the Marvel films ripped, and the wife and I, Reki and I, are going to be doing some ever so lovely Avengers Marvel Cinematic Universe watching. I've missed a few of the films. I know, revoke my nerd card, do what you got to do, but I missed a few of the films, so we're going to go through and rewatch all of them, or watch them for the first time in some of the cases for me. Most of the recent Marvel movies, if I'm being honest, most of the Marvel movies now have kind of, I don't know, they've kind of flopped for me in terms of my interest, and it's not because they're bad and I dislike them, it's because I'm kind of over the formula. It feels a bit formulaic, but that, I don't know. I felt like the Iron Man films were super duper good. I felt like the Captain America films were super duper good, and then, I don't know, I haven't seen Incredible Hulk, the 2008 one. I haven't seen... Which one haven't I seen? I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok, I know. I don't think I've seen Thor Dark World either. I'm trying to think. I haven't seen Black Panther. It's been a while since I've seen most of it. I didn't see the Ant-Man films. I thought the concept seemed lame, so I avoided it. Too bougie of me. I like the movies. They're fun. They're good romps, but I've just been kind of, I don't know. I've been in a weird headspace since quarantine started, and it's been odd for me mentally, so it is what it is. But I don't know. I'm a big fan of lighthearted and happy films right now. I'm trying not to depress myself too much. That's why I haven't been watching the Pokemon films, because like they all make my feels feel, if you know what I'm saying. So here's something cool. Apparently, the Quake soundtrack is being pressed on vinyl, which is super neat. Because the music is done by Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails fame. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I'm thinking about picking it up. I've actually started researching what I need to get into vinyl collecting and vinyl, listening in general. If you have never had an interest in it, it seems interesting. I've heard very good things about vinyls. They tend to have very interesting books and come with a lot of really cool little extras. And generally speaking, from what I've been told, vinyls have a warmer sound and are much more approachable and just feel nicer coming from a turntable of some kind instead of what you hear digitally. And I'm kind of curious to see how that is. And I love collecting gaming stuff, and there's been a resurgence of gaming vinyl as of late. So things like the original Doom soundtrack and some Sonic soundtracks and things are being pressed onto vinyls. Whether they're legit or not is a totally different question. Bootlegs will be bootlegs, but I'm interested to get into just to get into the scene and see what I can collect. There's a lot of really neat turntables out there, but I have my sights set on one that is like a fully automatic. You close the lid, you turn it on, and it's from like the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and it can find the size of your turntable. You can set the RPMs, and it'll automatically find the perfect starting point for the vinyl, for the record. So pretty neat. I'm pretty excited about that. But in terms of the news, apparently the publisher, aka Bethesda, who owns the rights for Quake, decided to stop the release of behind-the-scenes essays by former id developers John Romero and American McGee. It appeared earlier, before they changed it, to say, "We designed this reissue to include a booklet containing essays from id Software's John Carmack and American McGee. A certain unnamed video game publisher made it impossible to include this in the package, so please honor their wishes by not clicking here to even see the essays or here to print the booklet yourself." Very much a Nine Inch Nails thing to do, which is pretty great. But yeah, it's kind of neat. So you can't get it anymore. But that the note was removed and changed. But at the time of the posting, you could still see the booklet. But you can't now. But there were some essays there. Apparently it's actually been reposted. Neat. So there's some really cool essays from John Romero and American McGee, which is super cool because they are some of the original dudes. But the parent company ZeniMax, who owns id, put a stop to that, and I don't know why. I'm not sure why. It's a big problem. It's a big problem in general with this sort of stuff because to me it represents erasure of the history of gaming. And gaming history is so effing important to me, and it's so hard to keep things like archived and indexed with the way copyright law is without the publishers being like, no, you can't publish essays and information about it. That's why things like documentaries are so important, and partly why I'm kind of miffed. If you've heard of what is it, the Netflix gaming documentary, it is called High Score. And it's a documentary about the history of games. Well, the problem that I have with it is it still covers the same, 20-year period, 30-year period from the 70s to the early 90s without touching on anything beyond the Genesis and Super Nintendo. I want to see some history of more modern stuff, and I'd love to see some history of specific PC gaming too, and not just a focus on consoles. Because PC gaming has been a big thing for a long time, and I'm no PC Master Race thumper or anything like that, but I'm a big fan of game history overall. So to see a company blocking something of historical value or significance from being printed sucks. And it's a big part of the reason why when people say, I pirated this game, I don't go after them. Because to an extent they're preserving game history, and I hate to be kind of flippant about it, but until the laws change and the laws make it so you don't get unnecessarily punished. I don't know. I just feel like it's a bit silly, and I feel like overall, the entire concept of the way the copyright law is set up and the way that, especially the way that ZeniMax is behaving, is unfortunate, unnecessary, and pretty petty. So I'm kind of excited that the booklet that they were going to include got quote unquote leaked, even though it was Reznor who leaked it. Shh, we're not going to talk about that though. But I mean, Trent Reznor has always been on that, that cutting edge of kind of that FU, I do what I need to do to make things work type attitude, and I'm all about that. I think that's commendable because I mean he has more or less pioneered a musical genre. I think he has the chops to be like, F you. I don't know. I'm just excited to get into vinyl collecting, and to see the Quake album there is exciting, but to see them kind of like deny the ability to have that book makes me a little sad. Oh well. I'm excited to see I might actually look into printing this booklet to go with the vinyl when I order it. I don't know. I'm excited to try vinyl out. I think it'll be fun. What are your thoughts on any of it? Do you like vinyls? What are your thoughts on piracy? What are your thoughts on the music industry? Like, hit me with whatever you got. Let's open up a dialogue. Shoot your shot and let's get it going. But with that said, once again, the number is 941-677-2366. 941-677-2366. Hashtag Midnight Pixel Show on Twitter and over here on the YouTube. Write in chat if you want. And then hit up discord.gg/the arcade in hashtag gaming chat. Leave your thoughts there as well. That would be appreciated. But we're going to keep rolling. Rolling. All right, let's talk about the PS5. It's time. It's time we talk about the PS5. The main model, the disked model, the one with the disk drive. $500, $499.99 USD. Without the disc, $399.99 with USD. Pretty much exactly what I've been predicting all along. Microsoft was the only curveball. Now, the PS5 2 editions are equally powerful. The only difference is the disk drive. So you get a PS5, you're getting the same power regardless of the version you get. You just won't have that drive. So US, Japan, Mexico, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea will be getting the consoles on November 12th. Xbox is launching November 10th. And the rest of the world will get theirs on November 19th, a week later, whereas China, the announcement will be at a later date. Pre-orders apparently have already started. They were supposed to start tomorrow, and a ton of retailers have been having trouble, like totally out and everything. They're pushing for the digital edition. I think that's going to be the big seller just because of the price point, especially during a pandemic. What are your thoughts? How are you feeling about the launch date, the cost, all the things? Let me know. I'm curious. I'm curious how y'all are feeling in general about gaming. What do you feel about this console gen? I'm kind of like feeling meh about it. Like, I'm excited, but I'm also kind of at that level of precaution because it's feeling like fewer and fewer launch titles are coming out. Things are getting pushed back. I mean, the PS5 has a pretty decent launch lineup set up. The games available will be Astro's Playroom, which was already talked about a while back. Demon's Souls, the remaster of that's going to be really, really exciting for some. Destruction All-Stars, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Sackboy: A Big Adventure. And then third-party PS5 launch games. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Cyberpunk 2077 will launch on November 19th along with the worldwide PS5 launch. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which releases November 13th. So it'll be the day after the PS5 gets in the hands of American and a few other audiences. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Now this was a little bit of a curveball, but a good one, just because I feel like a lot of people gave it a pass, but I think having it be a special edition with new features and stuff will really open up the doors for that game to see some growth and see some more eyeballs on it. And it looks gorgeous, so why not? Destiny 2 Beyond Light. I don't know. I don't got words to say. I have some concerns and problems with Destiny in general, but we won't get into that on this episode of MPS. Godfall, I know Sean's looking forward to that one. Fortnite, the ray tracing edition of Fortnite should be hitting those consoles, the new gen consoles, so it looks quite gorgeous, like insanely gorgeous. And then Watch Dogs Legion should be a launch title as well, which is kind of exciting. But another little curveball they threw, which is another good one, is the PlayStation Plus collection. So this is something that if you have PlayStation Plus at the launch of the PS5, you'll be able to download and play a large library of PS4 games at launch. So you'll be able to get Battlefield 1, Batman Arkham Knight, Bloodborne, Days Gone, Detroit Become Human, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy 15, God of War, the most recent one, Infamous Second Son, Monster Hunter World, Mortal Kombat 10, Persona 5, Ratchet and Clank, Resident Evil 7, game still scares the pants off of me, The Last of Us Remastered, The Last Guardian, Uncharted 4 Thieves' End, and Until Dawn. That's a hell of a lineup of games to have right out of the gate, right when the console launches. So that's really nice. That's a really nifty add to your PS Plus subscription. I think that's a great idea. Not a bad one, because people are going to be clamoring for games to play on the PS5, and giving them that nice boost of, even if they are older, that nice boost of games will entice people to continue to invest in the platform and become hooked on it. That's a good move. It's a smart move. It's kind of like, I was hoping that they would wrap PS Now into PS Plus, much like xCloud is wrapped into Game Pass. But that's okay that they didn't. I was just hopeful, because I pay for PS Now because I think it's a good service. I think it's an interesting concept and very, very cool. Overall, I'm pretty stoked. I think this is going to be an interesting launch for this generation. This cycle is going to be fun and nice, I think. I think there's going to be a lot of good games, and I'll tell you what, with all the games announced at this PlayStation event and at the previous events that we've seen for both Xbox and PlayStation, we got it good, y'all. It's going to be a good couple of years game-wise. Another God of War was announced. Final Fantasy 16 was announced. We have Spider-Man Miles Morales, which looks amazing. We have another COD coming soon. We've got a lot of really interesting games. And of course, Cyberpunk is coming at the end of this year. DMC5 Special Edition, all the things. It's gonna be pretty great. So on note on backwards compatibility, according to Sony boss Jim Ryan, he says that the PS5 will be able to run the vast majority of PS4 games. So backwards compatibility shouldn't be too big of an issue. Hopefully they're not lying. But they confirmed that it'll be able to run most of the top 100 PS4 games, but later they said it will support an overwhelming majority of them. And that's when Jim Ryan said 99%. Unfortunately, there's still no indication that the PS5 will run older gens, PS3, PS2, PS1. No indicator there, but Ryan apparently told the Washington Post that he expects the PS4's lifespan to continue for another 3 or 4 years, which I'm really surprised at, and that the system will continue to be supported. Many will transition to PS5, we hope, if we do our job well, but tens of millions will still be engaged with the PS4. I mean, people were still using the PS3 up until not long ago, so I get it. Which is not too bad, but I don't know. I'm hopeful that we can see some sort of backward compatibility type thing for older consoles, but I won't hold my breath because it's Sony. And it's just, you know, how they are. So I don't know. I'm pretty jazzed. I think it's going to be a good release. I hope that the rumors of scarcity aren't true, and I hope that there are plenty available at launch for people to get. But again, I'm not putting any real faith or hope in that, because shortages seem to be the name of the game lately, especially with all the pandemic issues and stuff like that. So hopefully the pre-orders won't be sold out super long, and more will be open for pre-order. Apparently, like, some GameStops only got like 14 consoles, and the majority of them were the disc consoles, and like only maybe 2 were non-disced. So we'll see. It's interesting, and I think it'll be very fascinating to watch how the supply chain unfolds during this for both Microsoft and for Sony, because a lot of those are going to be relying on parts from China. But I have high hopes. I mean, I'm going to remain optimistic about it, and with any luck, we can have a really kick-ass console generation. I think that would be pretty neat. I'm enjoying talking with y'all. I hope you're having a good day. There's a lot of good news today, so at least in terms of gaming, not in real life, but in gaming. So I hope you all are enjoying our chat, and I hope that if you have any thoughts that you'll share them on Twitter at #MidnightPixelShow. Perhaps you can give me a call or a text at 941-677-2366 and share your thoughts on any of the topics we've been talking about. Especially the PS5. I really want to know what people are thinking. Are you buying an Xbox One or Xbox Series S or X? Are you buying a PS5 day one? Are you buying both day one? Are you going to wait a week? What are you doing and why? I want to know. So share your thoughts. 941-677-2366. Text, call, leave a message. We'll get it here on the air. #MidnightPixelShow on Twitter. The Timcade chat over on YouTube is live, so feel free to pop over there. Or on Discord, discord.gg/the arcade and #gaming chat. I'm checking all the spots, yo. With that said, we're going to take a short musical interlude. We're going to listen to Matt Uelmen's Palace from Torchlight from 2009. This was a Windows PC game, but I think it was on consoles too at some point, which is pretty neat. So yeah, so why don't you enjoy that, and then we have something from Super Mario Sunshine right after that. So we'll be back in just a minute. Well, y'all just listened to some Versus Polluted Piranha Plant by Koji Kondo and Shinobu Tanaka from the Super Mario Sunshine soundtrack, which is an excellent game. It was on the GameCube and is now finally being re-released as part of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars game, which I'm super duper stoked about. It's going to have Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, and Super Mario Sunshine, and I've been waiting for them to remaster Sunshine for a while, and Galaxy. Kind of annoyed that they put Super Mario 64 on there. So Zachary Ryan from IGN says it pretty well. Before I even fired up this new collection, I have to say I was a little bit disappointed in the lack of effort Nintendo put into it. The original Super Mario All-Stars was released for SNES in '93. Nintendo capitalized on the opportunity to create a Mario extravaganza. Harnessing the raw power of the Super Nintendo, all three of the original NES Mario games received major overhauls. Sprites were completely redesigned, backgrounds were redrawn with more color and detail, sound effects were upgraded, bugs and glitches were fixed, and, for better or for worse, mechanics were retuned to closer resemble the feel of Super Mario World. All of these painstaking little tweaks, in addition to an entirely new Mario game, well, new for the US, were packaged up with the intention of delivering the best possible versions of Mario's bygone adventures. 27 years later, the spiritual successor to that historic collection has arrived in the form of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, but it lacks the same spirit of celebration. This time around, we get Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy, and that's pretty much it. Granted, 3D All-Stars also includes the soundtracks each of the games included, for a total of 175 tracks, which is nice, but taken as a whole, Super Mario 3D All-Stars is about as bare bones a package as you could get. Even the physical packaging is lackluster, without so much as a manual included in the box, just a handful of screenshots stitched together on the inside cover. If Super Mario 3D All-Stars is truly part of a bigger celebration of Mario's 35th anniversary, where's the fanfare? Why not put in the extra time to really make these games shine? Also, the baffling decision to offer Super Mario 3D All-Stars for sale only for a limited time until March 2021 is absurd and feels decidedly anti-consumer. So, he goes on to talk about how, it covers 11 years of history, etc., etc. I'm just overall disappointed in the fact that it's Super Mario 64 again. We got that on the DS. I don't need another rehash of this damn game. I mean, I believe it's been available in many different packages on different Nintendo platforms. I'm just sick of it. It's not and I'm probably going to catch some heat for this, but it's not a great game. It has not aged well. I don't find it to be fun. It's a really weak platformer. The camera is terrible, and the controls are not great because N64 controller. The N64 controller in general was the Mad Cats of the console controller world. It was the laughing stock. It was the low brow, the weak effort. You know, I'm just not a fan. Not a fan. So I don't know. I'm just so I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed by it. I'm still gonna pick it up because I've been waiting for Galaxy and for Sunshine to come out for a long time. But at a $60 price tag, it's just it almost hurts my soul a little. It feels a little like the Disney Vault. Y'all remember that crap where they used to be like, you only have 6 months to buy this movie and then it goes back in the vault for 5 years. And then they'd only release them every 5 years or so. I hated that. And I don't like this concept. I think it feels, I don't know, ham-fisted, forced, artificially scarce. I don't know. It's frustrating. It's annoying. And Tim don't like it, y'all. Tim don't like it. I'm excited to play them, but I just wish that they would have done Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and Super Mario Sunshine. Do the Wii and GameCube renditions of Mario games, because we didn't see a whole lot of that. Like, yeah, Galaxy was big, Galaxy 2 was big, but I couldn't stand the damn Wii. It was not great. I did not like the controls. I don't like motion controls, and I'm kind of worried, honestly, how those motion controls are going to translate into the Switch. Am I going to have to pull out my controllers, my Joy-Cons every time that I want to play it? Because that's going to be annoying as hell. I don't know. Maybe I'm too overly harsh, but I just feel like $60 is a lot to ask for not even redesigns. These aren't remakes. These are just taking the games and slapping them on the console. I don't even know if they're upscaling them or anything. According to this IGN article, he says Super Mario 64, originally released on the Nintendo 64 in 96, is easily one of the most important games in video game history, as it essentially wrote the book on how character movement and camera controls work in a 3D space. And I do agree, it is very influential, but it has not aged well. I will say that time and time again. Mario 64 has not aged well. I just want to be very, very clear on that. However, it is an influential game. It's an important game. It just sucks that they're throwing it on here. So in Super Mario 3D All-Stars, Super Mario 64 runs in a 4:3 aspect ratio with basic black bars on either side. That's disappointing. If you're going to release a 3D collection of your games, at least give it some stylized bars. I don't know. I'm just super disappointed. Hopefully Super Mario Sunshine is yeah. Okay, so Super Mario Sunshine is presented in a 16:9 aspect ratio, runs at full 1080p docked and 720p handheld. So apparently it looks very good, and that's good because that's one of the ones that I've wanted. Apparently it has a very nice frame rate. It's very smooth and works really well. Apparently, Super Mario Galaxy is pretty great. Again, a 1080p docked and 720p handheld. So that's some upscaling from the 480p that we put out, which is great. I'm excited to play those. I think those will be worth the $60 on their own, just because I honestly just want to play them. I want a chance to give them a go. I've never really given them a lot of time. So I think that'll be really neat. I think that'll be a ton of fun. So hopefully that will make it worthwhile, and I can just bypass Super Mario 64 because I feel like it's the most overrated game in the collection. I think it's an overrated game in general. Fight me. Don't at me, all right? It's good stuff. Like, again, it's very influential. I just find it to be not great. It's not done well. But oh well. I'm not going to be too critical on it because I talk about game history and preserving it. I feel like sometimes it's difficult for journalists and influencers to be objective when it comes to games. And I feel like there's a blind spot when it comes to certain 3D games that they're not great. They have not held up well, but they still will fight you to the death over why that game is superior or why that game is great. So I'm much of the mind of 64 is overrated. Sunshine seems pretty cool. I've played a little bit of it, but it's apparently a divisive title because it's not a typical platformer. I don't know. I think it seems like an interesting concept. And then of course, Galaxy looks like a freaking masterpiece, a masterwork. So I'm pretty jazzed to give that a go. So I'm going to pick this up. Are you going to pick it up? What are your thoughts? Do you feel like Super Mario 64 is overrated? Do you feel like all the games in this collection are worthwhile? Do you feel like it's a cash-in and is taking advantage? Do you think that the limited release window is a joke? What are your thoughts? Let me know. Share it. You could be on the show. 941-677-2366. Hashtag Midnight Pixel Show on Twitter. Or drop your thoughts in chat right on the YouTube. Oh, yeah. What else we got on the docket to talk about? So let's talk about Final Fantasy 16. Hot diggity damn. FF16's been announced. Yeah. I love the FF games. Even though I barely ever finish them because they're so long, but they're so fun and so enjoyable. I love them. I love the aesthetic. I love the universe. And Square Enix has done a really good job of cultivating that and culminating that in FF14, A Realm Reborn, the MMO. But what's really cool is 16 is going to be directed by the same dude who saved Final Fantasy 14. The original Final Fantasy 14 was a flop, and it's being directed by Yoshi P. I cannot remember his last name. Sorry. But yeah, he's amazing. He pretty much saved, he absolutely saved FF14 by pushing it through or taking it over and making sure Realm Reborn was a success. The story has been fantastic in the FF14 game. So I have no doubts he will knock it out of the park with 16. What was the most shocking is how far along in development this was. This was a complete blindside for me. Final Fantasy games take a million years to come out, usually take 2 or 3 generations. The fact that 16 is coming out so close to 15, which 15 was in 2016, so 4 years. Usually it's like an 8-year cycle for them. So I'm pretty stoked that they're actually putting this out in a reasonable amount of time. It should be pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing what FF16 brings to the table. But we saw a bunch of, huge monsters, some chocobos, some really intense stuff. It was a pretty cool little trailer. But apparently, according to Kotaku, Square Enix says that they have no information on if Final Fantasy 16 will be released on platforms other than the PS5, even though on the trailer it very much said also coming to PC. But you know what? I'm not going to argue with the PR person from Square Enix. I will let them do their thing. But that said, I'm pretty stoked. I think it's going to be an exciting game. And then the other big bombshell that was dropped was Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy. Oh, this is something I've been waiting for a long ass time. A long time. And I'm quite excited that we're going to finally be seeing it. Probably in 2021, maybe 2022. But it takes place in the 1800s, where your actions will shape the wizarding world of Harry Potter. So you can learn spells, tame beasts, team up with iconic characters during the Hogwarts Legacy's main campaign, and that's pretty much all we know. They confirmed that it'll be coming to all major platforms. This news article is a bit out, but they said on Twitter, the developers of Hogwarts Legacy said that it'll be on all consoles, including the current gen consoles. So the PS4, the Xbox One, etc. So that's pretty exciting. We just don't have a lot of info about it yet, but it's from Avalanche. And apparently the DualSense will take a big a big role in the game on PS5. So head of story Adrian Ropp says, this is an exciting time to develop immersive experiences. The new opportunities provided by the PS5 are literal game changers. With innovative high-definition graphics, a player can practically feel the terror of Inferi bearing down upon them, and sense the ground rumbling beneath them as a herd of angry centaurs surrounds them. Even dueling against a deadly dark witch takes on a new level of realism thanks to the controller's ability to imbue sound and touch into every moment. Neat! It sounds pretty sweet, right? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Are you going to get Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy when it comes out? I know I am. I certainly am. Do you have any concerns or thoughts? I know recently J.K. Rowling, not just recently, for a while now, J.K. Rowling has been saying some terrible transphobic BS on her Twitter. And she's writing a book that's pretty transphobic as well. She's a mess. But there was a very, very interesting tweet that I really liked that I want to read to you. Hold on a sec. Let me find it real quick. It is... I've seen a lot of hot takes today, but being excited to play Hogwarts Legacy does not make you transphobic. It's a massive bummer that J.K. Rowling is a TERF, and a TERF is a transphobe, somebody who does terrible things to try to make life difficult for trans people. But anyways, it's a massive bummer that J.K. Rowling is a TERF, but those books and that world are bigger than her. I'm buying the game day one and will donate to Trans Lifeline. That's pretty much how I feel. Don't be ashamed to like the creation here, but to like the world. J.K. Rowling is a scumbag. And I can't even say allegedly, like she's just a scumbag. But the world she created has far surpassed her. And has become something that is the fans. Us. Ours. So if you like Harry Potter, enjoy Harry Potter. Don't go espousing Rowling's beliefs, but enjoy what you want to enjoy. Don't shame other people for enjoying it, unless they're actively hurting other people. And enjoying a world that has grown beyond its creator is not harming anyone. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see what it brings. What are your thoughts? 941-677-2366. Shoot me a text. Leave a voicemail. Hashtag Midnight Pixel Show over on the Twitters. Drop me some love in the YouTube chat. Or drop a bomb at discord.gg/the arcade in hashtag gaming chat. With that said, let's go ahead and let's play our final songs and then we'll wrap up the show today. It's a little early, but I'm honestly really beat. I need to get some rest. Got a big day tomorrow. So with that, what shall we listen to? We are going to listen to Baptism by Gary Scheinman from the BioShock Infinite original soundtrack. And then we're going to end with the title screen song by Ben Prunty. It's called Space Cruise, the title scene from FTL, or Faster Than Light. So we'll start out with Baptism from Gary Scheinman and end with that title screen. And then we'll wrap up the show and from there. So enjoy Baptism. And welcome back. That was Space Cruise, or the title theme from FTL, Faster Than Light by Ben Prunty. Good stuff, good stuff. Love that game if you've never played it. It's super duper good. That's a soundtrack I'd like to get on vinyl. Anywho, so let's go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank you for hanging out. I know it's a little early. I'm probably going to aim to do this show between an hour and 2 hours every Wednesday, I think is what I'm going to do. So, that said, we will be back next Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on the Twitter, twitter.com/TheTimCade. I'll be posting when I'm getting ready to go live, or you can go to the Discord at discord.gg/thearcade. I'll be posting in the Going Live channel there. And during this time, you can always post in the gaming chat on the Discord. You can always leave a comment on this episode with your thoughts. Leave me a tweet at #MidnightPixelShow on Twitter, or call or text 941-677-2366. Leave your thoughts over any of the topics we talked about this week, last week. Let's have a conversation. Let's discuss. I'm curious as to your thoughts, especially with regards to the games coming out that were announced, FF16, Harry Potter, etc. The PS5, the Xbox One, or the Xbox Series, anything that you have an interest in that we've talked about, please feel free to chime in, and we'll definitely cover it next week. But that said, thank you all for hanging out. If you wish to support what I'm doing here, please go to patreon.com/TimCade. Every little bit will help. I'm hoping that I can utilize any funds to upgrade the presentation here a little bit, maybe get some custom motion graphics done or something, but every little bit helps. And I am so very grateful that you've hung out today, and I'm looking forward to next Wednesday's show. I hope you are. We're going to do Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, right here, same channel on YouTube, going to do it live, and of course on the Timcade Radio at timcade.tv. You can listen in. You can even punch that M3U into your phone or whatever and listen on the go. It'll take data, of course, but whatever you want to do. Would love to have you listening in and chiming in if you wish. Now, last week we had Brian leave a voicemail, our first voicemail, and I didn't get a chance to play it, so I'm going to play it back today. So thanks, Brian. Here you go.
Hey, Brian, how's it going? Just wanted to say hi. We just finished up our Mighty Mighty Boss Zones podcast, and wanted to wish you good luck on your pilot episode of Timcade Radio. Anyways, have a good night.
And I thanked Brian last week, but I'm gonna thank him again. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate your kind words. And guys, go check out the Mighty Mighty Boss Zones if you have not. I was on there a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna probably be on there this week. We'll see if they want me. But that said, I am so ever so grateful for all of you who hung out, and I hope that you will join next episode. Chime in, share your thoughts, or just listen to me prattle on about next to nothing. Love your faces, and we will see you next time on the Midnight Pixel Show. Have a good night.